In this video, we are going to learn how to draw a square-based pattern which looks something like this. Okay, you have multiple squares starting from the outer square. You leave little gap, then you have the second, and then you have the third and the fourth, and it keeps on drawing squares based upon the input that is given to you. Now, over here, if you see, the squares have been drawn with respect to the center of the screen. For example, when we are drawing the square, the sprite is going to move from the center to a particular position at the side. Then from that position, it's going to move upwards, then it's going to go sidewards, then it will go downwards, and then again sideways, and to the point from where did it start. So what is important over here, from the center of the screen, it is going to shift and go to the side first. So basically this line that is being drawn is what we do not need. We are looking out only for the square. So every time it's going to be drawing a square, it's going to draw the square from the center, go to some position at the side, and we are going to need to hide that line that is being created. We do not want that line. Now how do we do the coding? We start off by doing clean slate. So I go to event, I click when flag is clicked, I do my clean slate code and go to pen, erase all, pen up. After pen up is my go to x0, y0, point in direction 90, and finally I do pen down. Next I need to draw the square. So for that I create a block, make a block, draw square, and the square has got only one parameter, that is size. Let's say OK. Now while drawing the square we have to move the sprite. Now he's at the center, so we need to move the sprite from here to some position at the side. Okay, so for that I will do move to half the position of the size. So I say operator. So if the size is equal to 100 centimeters or 100 points, I need to move it 50. If the size is 200, I need to move in 100 steps. So move half of the size divided by 2. So let's make it draw 100. Let's see if this is working. So it is drawing a line of size 50. Okay, you can see in the X position it has moved 50. So from here till here we do not want this line to be shown. We now want him to draw the square over here. So in order to do that, let's start drawing the square. We have to make a turn. So I go to motion, I take a turn of 90 degrees, then I make a move. Again I want to make a move of half the size. So size divided by 2. So let's test it. So it is drawing half. Now I got to make a move again, turn, and make a move of full size. 90. So I take a move of size. So then again I need to make a turn and make a move again of size. Again I need to make a turn (90) and make a move of size. So like this, I need to make again another turn and go to this position from where I had started. So again, I do not have to make size of 100, but again 50. So make a turn 90 and make a move of half of the size. Size divided by 2. Okay. Now, we need to make him pointing in direction 90 back. So I'll keep him pointing in direction 90. And we need to bring him back at the center. So now this unwanted line that has been drawn has to be hidden. How do I hide it? It is this line that has been drawn over here. Because of this move, it has created that line. If I remove this code, you can see it. It is this line here. So in order to hide that line, I can do pen up and pen down. So I go to pen up. So while he's shifting, I do not want him to draw the line. I start drawing only when I start from this position. So now the line will be invisible. But now we want the sprite to come back in the center. Okay, we want him back in the center so that he can draw the remaining squares. All the squares are going to be drawn like this only from the center. So now we want him back at the center. How do I do it? I need to bring him back. So I need to make a move. So how much move do I make? I make a move of the same distance that he had created but negative value. If it was plus 50, now it has to become negative 50. So how do I do it? I take the operator, I take the negatives operator, I fix it here, and I'll say 0 minus the same size divided by 2. The same size divided by 2. So I need to put another operator within this. 0 minus 50 will give you negative 50. 0 minus 100 will give you negative 100. So whatever may be the value, it will give you a negative value. So this size goes inside there. So it will come back at the center. Now while coming back at the center, it drew the line again. So what do I do for the line? I again do pen up and pen down. Because I do not want the line. So I'll do the pen up here and I'll do the, I don't require to do the pen down. So just do the pen up. So now the square is complete. Now our next task is to create the pattern. To create the pattern, I need to create another block. Make a block. Say draw pattern. For this pattern, I will take two parameters. One is the step and one is the size. Okay. So draw pattern. So keep the square aside here. Keep the main program here. And I'll draw this pattern here. So now how do I draw the pattern? To draw the pattern, I'll take the if loop. I go to control. If else, this step is going to keep a count of how many times I'm going to draw the square. So I go to operators equal to 50. I place it here and I'll say while step is equal to 0, I do nothing. Otherwise, I need to draw the square. So this square from here I'll remove and I'll put over here. And instead of here, I'll draw the pattern now. Okay. So since I want it to be doing many times, I need to keep calling this draw pattern again and again. So I need to link this also again. Once it draws the square, again it has to keep drawing squares and squares and squares. So I need to keep track of the step. The step has to keep decreasing. Step minus 1. And since the size also is decreasing, I also have to decrease the size of the square, because this is a bigger square, then it becomes little smaller, then little smaller. So I have to make size also minus 1, or minus the value that you want. So I'll say size minus, let's say 20. Let it decrease by 20. First, if it is 100, then let it draw a square of 80. Then let it draw a square of 60. Like this, keep on decreasing by 20. So if I'm drawing a pattern, say 20, and I want a size of 200, initially let the biggest square be of size 200 and let it keep decreasing. So let us run and see. So this size has to be here. So now you see the first one is 200, then it becomes 180, then it becomes 160. Like this, it keeps on decreasing and keeps creating squares. In this way, you get a pattern that is been created.